You're watching CNN. I'm Brooke Baldwin, and I want you to imagine this. Imagine more than 1,000 cyber terrorists all around the world, secret agents commissioned by North Korea, tasked to stage attacks against the enemy, including the United States, are allegedly part of this organization called Bureau 121. And now a former Pyongyang military systems worker who defected to South Korea is talking. And he's talking to CNN, saying that the cyber war has already begun.
Cyber attack capability is much more dangerous than nuclear weapons because often it's hard to find the attackers. At low cost and effort, North Korea can cause an incredible impact on many aspects of the targeting society, politically, economically, and militarily.
But is North Korea really capable of staging such a sophisticated attack here like the ones threatened by cyber terrorists who infiltrated Sony Pictures? Threats on the scale of September 11th, threats that led to Sony canceling the interview's release in theaters? Remember this picture from just a little more than a year ago? North Korean leader Kim Jong-un in his war room, maps behind him with targets in Texas and California and Hawaii. Remember that? Or this government video showing a bullseye on the White House. Joining me, international security analyst Jim Walsh. He's an MIT research associate who has traveled to North Korea for talks with officials about nuclear terrorism. Jim Walsh, nice to see you.
Good to see you.
So, listen, CNN is reporting thus far that it was North Korea behind this attack. And I understand, you and you're not the only one who has doubts exactly over the genesis of this maybe. But let's go with what we're being told. My question to you is, what do you know about their cyber attack capabilities in general, and who would be helping them?
Well, in terms of cyber warfare, cyber activity, North Korea, along with China and Russia, are always listed among the top groups of countries that where governments are actively engaged in cyber attacks or cyber defense or cyber in general. And it makes sense, sort of at a general level. North Korea is pretty prickly about some of these things. This would be a way that they would be able to strike back. But I do think parts of the story don't add up. I think it's highly unlikely, almost down to zero, that North Korea would launch a terror attack on the U.S. homeland at movie theaters.
So do you think they're bluffing, or whoever it is bluffing?
Well, a couple of things. First of all, the North Koreans are not known for timid rhetoric. They constantly say they're going to blow you up or kill you or destroy you in, purple language of all kinds. So that's sort of how they talk. And often they talk that way and nothing comes of it. This is not the first time we've had a movie that sort of made fun of the North Korean leadership. I remember some years ago, I was hosting a delegation at Harvard. A group was coming from North Korea. And that movie, Team America, came out. Yep. And I called up the studio and I said, I got to see this movie before these guys show up, or we could have some real problems here. So they set up a private screening, and, it wasn't that complimentary. But, and the South Korean press constantly attacks and says nasty things about the North Koreans, and the North Koreans say, we're going to do these terrible things. It just doesn't seem to, maybe in this case, but there's something more to it. There's something else in this story that we don't know, and we're not going to know because Sony isn't going to tell us anything, and the U.S. government isn't going to give us any details. They're going to want to keep that secret for sources and methods. So there are going to be some ongoing question marks about this.
Yeah, I think that is an incredibly valid point, and I'm glad you bring it up, all of the rhetoric and how some of this just really doesn't seem to add up. How do you, just knowing what you know about the inner machinations of North Korea, how should the U.S., how should the Obama administration respond?
Well, if they think it's North Korea, then fine, they should say it. But if they're not sure, they shouldn't say it because it puts everyone in a pickle. What are you going to do? Now, people talk about sanctions. North Korea is one of the most sanctioned countries in the world. And frankly, in recent years, it's actually gotten a little bit wealthier. At least the elites living in the capital city have gotten wealthier. And why? It's the luckiest country by geography. It sits next to China. China has double-digit growth rates, or used to. If you sit next to China, it's going to be hard to have sanctions that really hurt your economy because you're going to get all that extra business just because because you're sitting next to a giant economy that's, pumping away. So, I don't know there's a lot that we can do here. What occurs to me, though, is it's such a bizarre story. And it's not as if this is the first time someone's threatened a corporation. I'm sure there are times when cyber or hacker people have threatened corporations, and
all
the
the
corporations
time, I'm sure here as well, but they got away with it. When you see what they did at Sony.
Exactly. I've never seen anything this. I'm sure people have written checks to make this go away in the past, but this one is so public. In some ways, it doesn't matter who did it, because the object lesson to all of us who are watching is the same. Oh my God, they got away with it.
Totally. And could it happen to me? Jim Walsh, you were fantastic. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Brooke.